Hello, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Okay, so today we are going to be talking about the power of clarity in your messaging when you're marketing your business and selling your offers. So feel free to drop your questions. Hey, Kimberly. Hey, Lena. Feel free to drop your questions and your comments into the chat. We can discuss them here live. Or if you're watching the replay, I will respond to your comments. So I know that if you guys have heard me talking for any period of time, you know that I've talked about messaging quite a bit. And I'm sure that you've heard probably the importance of messaging, but maybe you're not sure like what that really means or why it's important. So, messaging is the way in which brands communicate to its consumers about the value of its product or services that they offer, right? So, the reason why we're talking about the power of clarity today is because a lot of coaches and consultants are not clear about their offerings. They aren't clear on who it's for, what it does, and why their ideal clients should care, right? So, if you're a coach, and you're trying to sell your coaching program, it needs to be clear who the program is for, what the benefits are, what the transformation is. If you're a consultant, who is your ideal client? What's the benefit of working with you? And where will that company or organization be afterwards, after the engagement is done? So I focus on messaging heavily in my coaching programs because this is literally what you're using on the front end, right? In the customer facing end to be able to sell your coaching program, sell your offerings. If it's confusing, then potential clients are not going to enroll. Hey, Jasmine. Potential clients are not going to enroll. So your messaging needs to encourage people to take action with you, right? The more clarity you have in your messaging, the easier it is to attract your ideal client. Some of the most common mistakes that I see when it comes to coaches or consultants messaging their offers is like they have the audience, the benefits and transformation is too generic, right? Hello there, investor mom. The audience, benefits and transformation is too generic. The everybody messaging, right? It's for women ages 18 to 55. The product or service will help you feel better. The product or service will help you have a better life, make more money. That's very generic, right? All these things are relative to that particular person that you're talking to. Because what does it mean? What it means for me to feel better may be different than what it means for you to feel better or have a better life, and so on and so forth, right? So this is why no one is raising their hand and saying they want to learn more about your program because they don't know that it's for them, right? The second is that your coaching program or offer is about you versus the client, right? It's about you versus the client. So there's a difference between creating an offer for your ideal client and creating an offer that serves you, right? So when you create offers based upon what you want and what you think that your target market needs versus what they actually say they want, your messaging will reflect what you want and not what your ideal client wants. And it's not about you when it comes to marketing your offers, right? And the last thing is that you've created offers that are out of alignment with the transformation that you can actually provide. And I know that this might sound a little crazy, but you have offers for people, but it doesn't match the type of coach or consultant that you are or that you even know how to be. And, I find that most coaches and consultants start out this way actually. When you're multi talented and multi passionate, all the ideas kind of tend to come forward, they come to the forefront. And when we're trying to start a business, right? Everything is kind of swirling around in our head. But that doesn't mean that all these things belong in the business, right? All these offerings belong in the business. Being passionate about a topic doesn't mean you can lead someone through a transformation in it. And that's why I teach my clients how to operate in their zone of genius so that their coaching programs and the work that they might do as a consultant produces results, which is extremely important, right? We all want our clients to get results. So again, there's power in the clarity of your messaging. And one of the key ways that you will stand out um, in the industry, right? So when your messaging is unclear, it's like you're speaking a foreign language to your ideal clients and they're unable to see how you actually solve the problem. So when your messaging is clear, right, your ideal clients will lean into your content, your lives, your emails, because it feels like you're speaking directly to them. So if you guys have any questions, please feel free to drop them into the chat, or if you have comments as well. I'm gonna be kind of trying to monitor the chat as I go through here. Hey, Catherine. But yes, please feel free to drop those into the chat. But um, when you have clarity in your messaging, right, your ideal clients, they'll be confident that you have the solution that they've been seeking, which is really important. So how can you actually clarify your messaging? Here are a few tips. Number one, commit to one cohesive message, right, that encompasses your offerings, and that's the end goal, right? So commit to one cohesive message. I'll say that again, that encompasses your offerings. And then that would be that's what the end goal is of like your entire business, if that makes sense. Um, Number two, spend time with your ideal clients to get to know them better. Again, it may seem like a no-brainer, but a lot of times people do not have conversations with who they consider to be their ideal client. You'd be surprised at what you will learn that can help you in your messaging. Number three, if something isn't working in your messaging, be willing to test, change, and adapt. That's super important, right? If something's not working, be willing to test, change, and adapt. And then last, hire a coach. Hire a coach to help you clarify your messaging, to make sure that you actually are indeed reaching your target audience and that your messaging resonates with them, right? There's no need to guess in your business or fly blind in your business, right? So those ways you can definitely improve your messaging. So let's kind of recap. And again, guys, if you have questions, please feel free to drop them into the chat, and I will make sure I don't miss anything. So some of the common mistakes that I see when it comes to coaches and consultants and their messaging and messaging their offers, right? The first is that the audience, benefits, and transformation are too generic. It's what I call everybody messaging. The women ages 18 to 55, you're gonna feel better, have better life, make more money, way too broad, right? Because that means different things to different people. The second is that you make the coaching program or offer about yourself versus the actual client. And this is common, especially for all of my experts and overachievers out there. We have such big brains and so much knowledge to give, and we're so passionate about helping people that we actually forget um, that we need to include our client in, in the offering, right? And what they actually want. There's a difference between creating an offer for your ideal client and a difference between an offer that actually serves you, right? So your messaging needs to reflect what your ideal client wants and not what you want. And I remember, guys, it's not a personal attack if your messaging doesn't resonate. It doesn't make you any less of an expert in your zone of genius, but your messaging just needs to reflect back to your client the solution that they seek, right? So it's kind of like, don't take it personal if you don't get it right the first time, right? Doesn't make you any less of an expert in that area, or you're going to provide less of a transformation. You just need to learn how to message your offers properly. So hopefully that makes sense with that. And then third, you've created offers out of alignment with the transformation you can actually provide. Now, here's where we really get into trouble, where you just have random offers out there and it doesn't actually match the type of coach or consultant that you are, or that you know how to be, or that you're trying to be, right? So, and I know it sounds odd, but it happens a lot. I see it a lot, especially with people who are multi-talented and multi-passionate. There's a lot of things that we can do, a lot of things that maybe we're passionate about, a lot of things, that we can learn or that we could possibly execute. But at the end of the day, it's not really our zone of genius. And that's where we really need to stay. And I know this happens because when you're starting a vision, all these ideas, you see all this stuff on social media and everything sounds great. It's like, I can do that. I can do that. I can do that. You might be able to do it, but can you do it with excellence? And that's a question you need to ask yourself, right? Especially as a coach, because your coaching program cannot include everything in the kitchen sink. You go into an organization as a consultant, you can't fix all the problems, right? What do you specialize in that you know that you can 100% provide results in? And that's what needs to lead the way. So that is when your offer and transformation are out of alignment. Now, what can you do to actually clarify your messaging? A few things: commit to one cohesive message that encompasses your offerings and that represents the end goal in your business. Like, what are you actually trying to do? Number two, spend time with your ideal clients, get to know them. You'll learn lots that will help you with your messaging. Number three, something isn't working, be willing to test, change, and adapt. And then the fourth thing is hire a coach. You do not have to fly blind, but make sure that you can connect with someone that can help you reach your ideal clients and make sure that your message is actually resonating with them. Again, guys, if you have questions, please feel free to drop them in the chat. I think I saw something on IG, so I'm going to get that. Jasmine asks, how long should you run it with the messaging before you change it? Jasmine, that's a great question. There's no like hard and fast rule, but I typically tell my clients to try something for 90 days. Some like 90 days is a good measure of data that you can collect. I feel like 30 days is too short. You could do it with 60 days. Hey, Catherine, you could do it with 60 days, but I feel like 90 days is a good time period to be able to collect enough data. When we talk about good data, right? Good data is not just like we're saying that it's good, but you need to have a large enough sample size to be able to actually extrapolate points or make decisions that are concrete, like that will actually be predictive or indicate what's going to happen next, right? This is my engineering brain coming out here. So like, if I only do something for 30 days and I'm just starting out, I probably don't have enough incoming traffic that's representative of my ideal client to really be able to say that that did or didn't work, right? Somebody who's just starting, their traffic looks way different than someone who's been in business for like 3, 4, 5, 10 years, right? So if you think about the amount of data that they have versus the amount of data that you have, you're trying to get enough data to be able to, say that this is like a good enough sample size. Like if you remember back in school, we had to do, if you did statistics, there's something called a sample size. And so if the sample size is too small, you really cannot say with, a certain amount of confidence that the next thing would happen, right? So that's kind of like the approach that I take with my clients. It's like, well, we really don't have enough data to say that this does or doesn't work. And so I'm really big on really looking at the numbers, helping my clients understand their numbers, how to get more numbers so that they can really actually make data-driven decisions in their business and aren't just doing random things. Because I know Catherine said stats was her worst class. Listen, I had to take a lot of math in college as an engineer. It was crazy. But this is relevant. It's relevant in your business. And a lot of times I know we get impatient as an entrepreneur and impatient that this doesn't seem to be working. Why isn't it working? Let me try something else because it's working better. This is working for such and such. You don't know how long that person's been doing that or if it really is even working for them. We don't know what's happening behind the scenes, guys. So you got to look at your numbers and not at anybody else's front end content likes and such and all that stuff, right? Look at what's happening for you in your business. That's how you make decisions, whether or not it's working or not. You can't base your business decisions off of whether something is working for someone else. That's never going to work for you. So, any other questions? Any other questions? You're welcome, Jasmine. Anything else about messaging, guys? So, when I work with coaches and consultants inside of my coaching program, I teach you guys step by step and strategically how to clarify your messaging so that you can attract your ideal clients on repeat. And then you really will truly be able to see the power of clarity in your messaging when you're attracting your ideal clients daily and you're able to work through converting them into paying clients, right? With your offerings. So this would include your high ticket offerings, your high ticket coaching programs, consulting offers, or lower ticket offers. We want to have conversions on all of those things. So if you're interested in learning more about my coaching programs and how this can work in your business, then just click the link in my bio or the description of this live. So if you're watching me on Instagram, it's the link in my bio. If you're watching me on Facebook, YouTube, or LinkedIn, then it's the link in the description of the live. And you can book a free clarity session with me, or you can DM me the word clarity and I'll give you the next steps. So definitely want to have that discussion with you guys. But yeah, let's figure out how you guys can get more leads in your business and turn those leads into paying clients, right? But a lot of that has to do with messaging. If your messaging is not on point, or if I like to say, if your messaging is not magnetic, then you're going to have trouble moving people. Well, first attracting people to your business and your offers, period, but then moving them to pay clients. So it's really super important. Yeah. Any other questions, guys? Anything else I can answer for you about this topic, about the power of clarity and messaging, why it's important, what I'm even talking about? If you missed it, you can definitely catch the replay. I'm going to post the replay in just a second, but I just want to stress this because I think this is one of the things that is talked about, but it's missed because people don't really understand like what all goes into it. Investor Mom says I'm amazing. Thank you. I appreciate that so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Any other questions, guys? Anything else? Any other questions? Anything at all? Okay. Catherine's hearting me. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you all. Sidebar note, I'm returning to Clubhouse today in a few minutes. So if you're one of my Clubhouse peeps, you can catch me on Clubhouse at 2 Eastern, which is in like 10 minutes. So hopefully I'll see you guys on there. Facebook, someone says we appreciate you. Thank you. I'll have to log in to see who you are after this, but thank you so much. All right, guys, that is it. Take care. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. Facebook and YouTube, I'm at iSimplyShe. LinkedIn at Crystal Renee, and on Instagram, I'm at I_simply_she. Hi, Munda. I'm just wrapping up the live, but I'm going to post the replay. So if you have any questions, then make sure you go ahead and shoot me a DM, or you can post in the comments. All right. All right, guys. Take care and have a great rest of your day.